Hey guys, welcome back to Barry Melt's channel. Today we're going to talk about preparing for Thanksgiving after bariatric surgery. So I feel like this time of year always causes a lot of anxiety for bariatric patients because it is when food and tastiness is everywhere you look. So I want to give you guys some tips and tricks to hopefully help you if you are a little anxious thinking about the holiday season approaching. So Thanksgiving is in a couple weeks, and one thing that I have really found helps me is that I just feel like now that I'm 8 years post-op almost, I definitely have more of a balanced lifestyle where I feel like I can have certain foods now. It's just all about portion. Don't go into this thinking I'm gonna stuff my face, because we're not those people anymore, and you need to get that mindset out of your brain and just focus on your healthy lifestyle after weight loss surgery. So I would recommend just, being balanced about it, being okay, and just, trusting yourself that you can hold yourself accountable. Go to the meal and have a Thanksgiving dinner with your friends and family, but try to really be aware of what you're putting in your body. Don't just go and use it as an excuse and say, oh, it's Thanksgiving, I'm gonna eat what I want, and then tomorrow I'll get back on track. Because if you're like me, you will promise yourself those things and then you'll never get back on track. So a couple things that have worked for me is that, like, the day of, I make sure that I'm active. Make sure that you're doing some kind of physical activity to get out there, get moving, and to really give yourself that time to burn those extra calories, since you are going to be consuming something a little bit different than you're used to, and probably a little bit more than your average calorie and, every fat intake, carb intake, all of that. So really recommend that you get active that day. Another thing that worked for me, especially really early in my journey, is that I would take my own food with me. And this made it easier for me because then it didn't feel like I had to eat what was there. So if there was like a really sugary pumpkin pie and I knew I couldn't have it, I would bring something with me to make me feel like I was still enjoying myself and could still have a treat without literally dying from dumping syndrome. So I would recommend bringing some things with you if you know there's going to be things that are just completely off limits. You can find healthy things on Thanksgiving because, think about it, like turkey, heck yeah, get some protein in from that. Make sure you are focused on the things that you know are gonna nourish your body. Try to stay clear from those really sugary desserts, but be okay with having a little bit of a balance there. And, I think this is the true test to see, can you be okay with just consuming a little bit? And I will tell you, if you do consume too much, you're gonna feel it. So don't ruin your holiday season by stuffing your face, because you're gonna feel awful afterwards. Okay, I learned this the hard way, but don't starve yourself before the meal and just tell yourself like, oh, I don't need to eat a lot that day because I'm gonna eat, this Thanksgiving dinner, because then you're gonna be so hungry that you're gonna eat too much. So make sure you are eating like a normal diet that day, and don't look at it like it's gonna be this giant feast. Just be okay with a healthy serving and don't feel like you have to literally eat until you make yourself sick. Another thing that helped me, especially again really early on, is when I hosted the event, because I was able to control a lot of what was being made and I was able to make healthier versions of things. And so that really helped me on my journey, because then I knew exactly what was going into my body and I didn't have to feel guilty for any type of casserole or whatever it was. I knew what the ingredients were, and I knew that they were healthier versions. And so I loved doing that. If you are very, very, very early on, or even pre-op, you might not even be able to eat at Thanksgiving. And so this is a whole nother conversation, and something I think is really challenging. And it's actually what I went through with my first surgery, because I had surgery right after the holidays. So I was on a pre-op diet during Christmas time, and it was really tough. So again, what I would encourage you to do is bring things with you that you know you can consume. And you might even find that when people are actually sitting down to eat, you need to leave the room. And I think that's totally okay, because it's really hard to be around food when you're first having weight loss surgery. And so if you need to literally remove yourself from the situation, just talk to your family and friends about it and tell them why you're doing it. And hopefully they'll be in a good place to really support you on that. Do not forget, you should not be eating and drinking at the same time. So don't be drinking some sweet tea with your meal, because first of all, you don't need to be having, all of that sugar on top of all of that food. But it's really important that you stick to the guidelines even on these special occasions. So don't be doing that. Don't be drinking a lot of alcohol, because that's just gonna make things worse too. Really try to be mindful and really try to be present in the moment of what you need to be focused on. And what that is staying consistent, holding yourself accountable, living today just as you would every other day. The biggest piece of advice I will give you is this: try not to make it about food. And I know that's hard because this time of year, again, there are literally commercials about food everywhere, I feel like. And I felt like I saw it so much more after weight loss surgery, just how much food is involved in the holidays. But make this about your family and friends, because that's what this truly is about. So, try not to overthink this whole thing and just be in the moment and be happy and let go of food. And this again is that first step for you to make sure that you are kind of at that right mindset. It's gonna be hard, especially if this is your first holiday after bariatric surgery. I hear ya. I know it's difficult, but you got this. You just gotta remember why you had this surgery. Hold on to that, because these are the times that you will truly be in that place where you're challenged and tested. And I know you can do it. I know you can get through it. At the end of the day, if you slip a little bit, don't be so hard on yourself. Pick yourself back up, stay the track. You got this. I know you can do it. And have a wonderful Thanksgiving, you guys. I am so thankful that you are on this journey with me here on this channel. I'd love to hear from you. What are some tips and tricks that you have as you are preparing for the holiday season? Leave me a comment down below and let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.